Hi everyone, let me show you how I got my Vanda Kyra green to bloom. You can see the tag. You guys can see that this was with me for some time because I have posted this on videos before. I will tag that video as the related video if you guys wanna see how easily I acclimatize the plant and many other Vandas which I got from CK Orchids, Chandrika, to my conditions without fail and very quickly. But what I did here was I did not push these to bloom, and that was a major error. What she told me was that since these are blooming size plants, no, you have to push them to bloom, meaning you have to spray phosphorus and potassium high fertilizer, that is P and K high in NPK macro elements. You can find these bloom boosters or bloom starters in any garden center fertilizer shop in your area, and anything would work. But see that the nitrogen is quite low, right? So if it's 1-30-30 or 10-30-30 or 10-45-30, something like that, which would boost the root growth and the flower spikes all together, right? That's what I did. I had a lot of roots, but because of the hotter climate, the root tips have dried out, but I can still find many root tips. Okay, so I just let these grow, and this is a good sign. And plus I have one keiki over here and another keiki over here. Okay, plus 2 spikes. What are the reasons? Continuous bottle permitted strengths of fertilizer diluted and sprayed every 5 days, right, continuously. In addition to that, Vandas have to be watered every day. If you can soak them like I am doing right over there in that cover pot, that would be ideal also, but make sure that your roots will not get broken down. So the original roots which were down here, there was a lot, this was a heavy root bulb, all dried out or broke because I was dunking it in a much larger pot than that, but I was dunking them. So when you're dunking, make sure your plant is hanging somewhere and the roots are inside the fertilizer bucket or the water bucket, right? So this actually was babied a lot, that's why this got late, and plus because I am updating the seller, my friend Chandrika, now, you know, and because she is also asking me, have they bloomed, send me pictures, send me videos. So I'm telling her, no, I'm babying them, I'm scared, I want them to, you know, throw out roots first, I want them to acclimatize, I don't see new roots, and I don't want this temperature fluctuation to affect them. Like that I was giving her numerous excuses. But what I did not look at was that Vandas love hot sun. Typically here in the mountains where I live, the night time is very cold. There's a huge plummeting of temperature. However, you know, hot during the day it would be, it's colder in the night. So these are the optimum conditions when it comes to getting a vanda to bloom, right? In short, daytime really hot and full of sun, but not to the extent that you will get sunburn, but trigger spikes, because vandas need a lot of light to bloom. And in the night when it cools down, that is also a trigger, because these hot and cold weather conditions are stressing them to trigger bloom spikes. That's what I wanted to tell you. If you guys want your blooming size vanda to bloom, after the acclimatizing period, you guys have to be on a bloom booster to trigger them. Because in another point of view I have is, which I want to share with you also, is that once they bloom for the first time, it is easy to get them to bloom the second and the third time then to continue, right? Because your plant acclimatizes to your condition first, then blooms, and it has gotten used to, that's what acclimatizing means, to your surroundings, where this can bloom again and again thereafter, because they are used to these conditions, they know what they have to do, right? A blooming size plant will never be lazy to bloom if you just push it a bit to bloom, and then after the blooms you can go back to your balanced fertilizer if you want the plant to go on a rest, or give it a high nitrogen fertilizer. But I do not believe in going with straightforward high nitrogen fertilizer, because that would only increase new cakey growth and the plant to grow taller and taller. That will kind of get the plant to your vanda to be lazy, especially vandas. And for dendrobiums and other types, you might need much more nitrogen in fertilizer, but as a whole, as an epiphyte, orchids do need bloom boosters, especially what you bring from Thailand, right? Whatever you cultivate, whatever you seed culture in your area according to your conditions, tropical conditions or whatever, that can be changed according to the condition changes that you give your orchid. But here that is not the case, especially when you bring from Thailand. Again and again I'm telling you guys, you have to trigger them to bloom. The plant would bloom only when it acclimatizes, but don't let the plant go into a lazy space after the acclimatization process, right? That's what I've learned, and that's what I wanted to advise you guys, because if you guys get this right, you will not have a lot of problems when you want to see flowers. They will automatically start blooming hereafter, right? So that's what you must get the hang on. So if you want your blooming size plants to bloom, get your plants on a bloom booster as soon as you acclimatize it to your conditions. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.